Good morning, beautiful spirits. It's Myra Magnus and another segment of Boxing Logics United. Breaking news. Hit by Talksports.com. It's been reported that Manny ROBLES, trainer Manny ROBLES, has split from the ex-unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz Jr., the first Mexican unified heavyweight champion of the world. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. People are saying Manny ROBLES reportedly said Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father told him, Manny ROBLES, that it was pretty much advised by Haymon to release him. This is what Manny ROBLES said Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father said. That's interesting because the whole big thing going on here is that nobody's been able to control Andy Ruiz Jr. Because like the video I did well before the rematch, I brought up the fact that Manny Ruiz Jr. had discipline problems. Okay? That he lacked motivation. I was able to see that when he did an interview saying in the third round he got lazy. He got lazy in the third round of the biggest fight of his career. That being on June 1st, when he beat Anthony Joshua to become unified, the first Mexican descendant, or should I say the first unified champion of the world, heavyweight unified champion of the world of Mexican descent. Those were Andy Ruiz Jr.'s words. And I made a video specifically pointing on Andy Ruiz Jr. has motivation issues. Okay? Self-esteem, that stem from perhaps self-esteem. The chubby kid issues and all this stuff, and no one ever believed in me and all this stuff. So, but it was reported by Manny ROBLES that his father, Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father, who was his manager, couldn't control him. Manny ROBLES couldn't control him. Nobody couldn't control him. So when I hear that Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father told Manny ROBLES it was Haymon's idea to fire him as his trainer, I'm like, well, if none of you guys can get into Andy Ruiz Jr.'s head to make him do what's right by himself so he can perform to the best of his abilities every fight, then did Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father roll Manny ROBLES under the bus? Because we don't hear nothing from Haymon. It was Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father that told Manny ROBLES it was Haymon's decision to release you. That don't sound too right with me. And I know everybody's going to say, well, why did Haymon get involved, such and such? How do we know he did? Saying that what was reported on Talksport.com that we don't want this to happen again, that's just saying we don't want this kid to come into a fight ill-prepared. You, Dad, his manager, the man responsible for managing his son's career, need to do something about it. So that Andy Ruiz Jr. father release Manny ROBLES, and he's using Haymon as an scapegoat. That's what I'm wondering. That's the question I'm asking. Because we're not going to get no questions from Haymon, because Haymon's not around at all to be questioned. So I think we need to go ahead and question Andy Ruiz Jr.'s father, because this is not new for Andy Ruiz Jr. Bob Haymon himself said you couldn't make the kid get up for the fights. He's a great talent. That's why we signed him. But you can't make him do anything. This is well before PBC. This is from Bob Arum that said Andy Ruiz Jr. lacked motivation or discipline. This is before PBC. This is Top Rank, where Manny Robles was there and his father was his manager, Andy Ruiz Sr. So, I'm not defending Al Haymon by no means. Perhaps he did. But, again, this is not from Al Haymon. This is from Andy Ruiz Sr., who also failed in getting into his son's head or convincing his son to prepare for the rematch versus Anthony Joshua, where he came in 20-something plus pounds overweight. So, that is another angle and another very, very solid perspective to look at this thing at. The Andy Ruiz Jr. father bus rode Manny Robles to keep his name clear and clean. Because Manny Robles said he wasn't listening to his father, his manager. None of us could get him to do what we needed him to do. He wasn't listening to none of us. So yes, a decision eventually had to be made, of course. But all we know is the manager, Andy Ruiz Jr., Andy Ruiz Sr., was the one to say it was Al Haymon who advised us. Even though he's failing his responsibilities. And unfortunately, I guess, Manny Robles. Well, true indeed, those two men didn't fail at anything. Andy Ruiz Jr. failed them. Andy Ruiz Jr. failed Manny Robles and his father. So, Al Haymon's not the fault of this at all. This is all Andy Ruiz Jr. And somebody need to question Andy Ruiz Sr. a little bit more thoroughly and say, so Al Haymon specifically said, fire Manny Robles? Nobody's going to get an interview from Al Haymon. We know that. So, is Andy Ruiz Sr. saving or covering his ass and bus rode Manny Robles? That is the question. You guys tell me what you think. This is Myra Magnus. Let's get it spicy on this conversation. Peace and pugilism. Peace and pugilism. Peace and pugilism. Evelina.